This is the review of the brand new Ford Bronco Sport. So the new Ford Bronco Sport comes in two configurations. One with a 180 horsepower 3-cylinder gasoline engine, 1.5, so no displacement, and 2.0, 4-cylinder, 280 horsepower. Both of them will come with the same gearbox, eight gears, which could be okay. The TIG one has 8 gears and it's amazing. The problem we have with this car, the Bronco, is like the entry trim level, this one I'm driving, it's horrible. I tried to do like some kind of off-road testing, but as soon as I tried rocks and everything, the AWD, it's not a full 4x4 system, started to act weird, and I felt that I would not go through it. Okay, a 3-cylinder, 180 horsepower, and don't get me wrong, 180 horsepower will be amazing if well distributed. Okay, the problem is that power, they forget to tell you one important thing: that 180 horsepower never gets to your wheels, ever, because you need to go into a really high rotation, and the gearbox and the injection system never allows you to. It's a really uncomfortable car for you to drive on the streets, on the road especially, or highway, because it runs in a really low rotation. And no, it doesn't matter which mode you try to set, like Bronco mode, sport mode, whatever, it runs always under 2000 revolutions per minute. So it's a slow pull, and every time you need power, you need 2 gears up, that the system tries to bring it up, but it sucks. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's a really bad car for the highway, for the road, and unless you're a grandmother, you will never like this car. So if I cannot even drive on the road, I cannot imagine doing trail or off-road with this car. It has a huge front, because what they did was they tried to imitate Jeep Wrangler and nothing inside the cabin, and put the engine all up front and create that kind of like big front truck stuff, but inside it's tiny. This is a Ford Escape. The new Bronco Sport is nothing else than a Ford Escape. You have no room in the back for the passengers in the back. It's horrible, and you have no trunk. So the suspension is pretty stiff, not bad on the road. Brakes are efficient, but this one with 10,000 miles are making weird noises when I reverse and I try to brake, which means somehow the discs are already kind of bent or something like that. It sucks. The driving position sucks. The 8 gearbox is not adapted to such a small displacement engine with 3 cylinders, 1.5, 180 horsepower, that you can reach only when you are like above 4,000 revolutions per minute. You never drive like crazy like that, and even if you do, like me, it's uncomfortable. It keeps like changing and shifting gears all the time. The driving position is worse than a Jeep Wrangler, and it does not deliver what a Jeep Wrangler delivers. The interior is poor. It is really poor. Like, it's cheap plastic everywhere. It's like such a miserable car. I got annoyed because I was like excited to drive a Bronco, and I had high hopes for the car, and this is a piece of junk, like literally. I would probably buy a Ford Escape instead of this one. Really. That bad. Okay? And the engine, keeps like crickets because it's really high compression to keep up with the small displacement and try to give the car power. I have nothing to say in a positive tone about this car. I'm sorry. I just can't. Off-road capabilities, when I try to like go over a bump, over the grass, and the wheels were kind of spinning by themselves, not really lock differential or anything like that. It just did not feel safe. So this car, I don't know, maybe just the name. I'm speechless. This car is basically a disappointment, because probably the new real Bronco, because this is not a Bronco. They call Bronco Sport, but this is a Ford Escape. Okay? Look at this. It doesn't go. It just doesn't go. Like it can't go. It's a miserable car. Interior is poor. The engine with 3 cylinders is miserable. Maybe outside USA it may find a niche market for it, but compared to the cars here, come on Ford, you could have used the V6 from the Mustang that you retired. That would be 10 times better. This sucks. This is a cheap, horrible car. I do understand some people like the exterior. I think it's dubious. It's really an ugly white box. This one is white. It looks like a matching box. It's a horrible car. The interior, this one is almost Spartan. It doesn't have anything automatic. Oh, you're gonna tell me, oh Andrew, but it starts at $32,000. You will not get this car for less than $35,000, $36,000. Okay, ever. And because the demand, like a lot of people want to buy this car, because I don't have a clue why, because the name is Bronco. So you have more people trying to buy it than they actually can produce it, maybe, and they sell it for $36,000, like entry trim level, and it sucks. It's a horrible car. It's ugly outside. It's tiny inside. It doesn't have an engine. Maybe the 2.0 works a little bit better, but I would never spend like $45,000 in a fake Bronco. So my review is don't buy it. It sucks. On top of all the problems of this car, it also smells like burning wire all the time, plus clutch smell, because the car needs to switch gears to compensate for the lack of power. So it smells like burning wire. That's really bad. It's a horrible car.